This is Tony Grossi tweets this out. Per the NFL, Browns have 8 players on their roster 30 or older. That's tied for 11th among the 32 teams. Average age, though, 25.98, ranks 19th. So bottom, they're one of the younger teams in the league, if you will, the third of that, which tells you they have a lot of old guys and a lot of really young guys. And that middle is kind of where not very many people reside.
Yeah, well, it's funny because it's like time changes in the blink of an eye. A lot of the guys that Mike Tomlin talked about when he said veteran secondary, a lot of us went, what? Veteran secondary? Denzel Ward been in the league for like 6 years. Myles Garrett's in his 7th year, right? Like a lot of these guys, Nick Chubb, he's also in his like 5th or 6th year. A lot of these guys that we've had with this team, and I thought the key word that Mike Tomlin used was program. Right. And that's something that the Browns have not had in comparison to other AFC North teams, specifically Pittsburgh and Baltimore, is the feeling that they have a program, right? They have plans for guys. Yeah, rookie year is not going to be a super impactful season for them, but 2-3 years down the line, we're going to have a slot for this guy to fill. And that's what they've done a really good job of. Like, Dave, you've covered this team in the 2010s, right? You remember what it was like when the most veteran player on the team was either Joe Thomas or some guy that they drafted 3 years ago, right? Like that's usually what the longevity was. We have a bunch of guys on this Browns team that have been here for a very long time, from the Sione Takitakis of the world who were here early in the Dorsey days to the Myles Garretts of the world. Like we have a lot of guys who just been here a while, and that is how you know that this organization, and I say this all the time, the name brand thought of the Cleveland Browns has not caught up to the reality of it. And the reality is that the Cleveland Browns have been as stable, as patient as any other franchise in football, almost up to where the top tier ones are. And that's starting to show its dividends when we get guys like Taki balling out, when we get guys like Greg Newsome balling out, when we get guys like Grant Delpit balling out, right? Like that's when this starts to pay dividends. Martin Emerson's another example. So yeah, it's a change of thought about the Cleveland Browns. Instead of being this unstable franchise, they're actually, I think, one of the better ran ones when it comes to roster in the NFL.
Yeah, and they've started to hit on draft picks that you can develop, like a Myles Garrett, like a Denzel Ward, like a Nick Chubb. You got to draft and get the guys that can play, and that was lacking in the 2010s and 2000s that we were talking about.
And it's like those mid-round guys too, right? Like that's the little glue there, right? Where you can get a decent linebacker with the mid-round pick, or you get a Donovan Peoples-Jones with the 6th round pick, right? We were so used for so long that every pick had to be a home run in order for the Browns to be good, because that's how bereft this franchise had been of talent. But that's not the case anymore. The fact is that they can survive and get some guys in the mid rounds who are just going to be some glue, who are going to be some nice pieces for a few years for this team. And that's the beauty of it. Now you have a rookie in DeJuan Jones stepping out there. I even mentioned UDFA, Ronnie Hickman.
Yep.
Played 10 snaps. Was fine.